to Friday's edition of Cooking with the Cooks, cuisine for the quarantined. Today we're having a barbecue and been to the fridge, haven't been out to do any shopping and buy any burgers, so we're going to make our own. Now, quite simply, your basic ingredients are some minced beef, or you can use minced lamb, minced pork in there, but we're using minced beef. I've got 800 grams of minced beef, should make about 8 burgers today. Some salt and pepper and an egg. Now that's the basic ingredients. We're going to add a bit more flavour to this. Now you can add things like onions. If you're going to add onions, cut them up nice and finely. You can fry them off first, or if you're using a red onion, you can put that in as it is. You can put things in like Worcester sauce, you can put breadcrumbs in there, just to add more texture and flavour. We're going to add some garlic, some herb de Provence, and a bit of Dijon mustard today. So first things first, let's get everything in the bowl. Come back in a minute. Right, we've got the minced beef in the bowl. We're going to add our flavours first. Don't forget you need an egg. There we go. So I'm going to use, I didn't say, I had this parsley from the other day. So it's still good. I'm going to chop that up and pop that in. So I'll just, sorry, get that out of the way, sir. Stalks and all, chop it up really finely. And we'll pop that in. Don't be shy on the seasoning with your minced beef. You want to taste that nice beefy flavour. So the best way to do that, add plenty of seasoning. If you want to try a bit, you could get a frying pan on and fry a tiny bit off once you've done all the mixture, just to check for seasoning. But I think I know where I'm going with this. So we've chopped finely the parsley. So that's going to go in, add a bit more flavour. I've got 2 cloves of garlic, which I'm going to grate in. You don't want big chunks of garlic in your burgers, so if you grate it on a fine grate, you get all that lovely flavour. Try not to grate your fingers, as I've just done. So there we go, 2 cloves of garlic. If you want it, if you like garlic, you want it more garlicky, put more in. If you don't like garlic, just leave it out. Like I say, the way you flavour this, it's really up to you. Oh, take the big bit out. There we go, 2 cloves of garlic in. Salt and pepper next, but well, first of all, some herb de Provence, just to give it a nice flavour. Salt and pepper, like I say, do not be shy with your seasoning. There we go. And a couple of generous teaspoons of Dijon mustard. That'll give it a lovely taste at the end of it all. So come and have a look, Soph. So there's our mix, like I say. Put in there what you want. If you put in some chilli, some cayenne pepper, flavour your burgers however you want them. The basic ingredients are your minced beef, some salt, some pepper, and an egg to bind it all. Just pop the egg in. And I'm going to wash my hands, get my hands stuck in this, and mix it all up. Come back in a sec. Right. I've got my mix, so just because I like to make sure things are accurate, I've weighed it. It weighs about a kilogram, so 1,000 grams. So I've worked out for 8 burgers, and I'm a bit funny about this, that it's 125 grams a burger. And I've got a ring, you don't need a ring, but I'm going to weigh out 125 grams for each burger. So I should get 8 burgers that are exactly the same. Pop it in a bowl. Now at this point just squish it out and you get a nice burger. Make sure it's flat. I'm going to put it in the ring so it's nice and round. Now I'm going to put these burgers in the fridge for a couple of hours before I cook them. Because we've been working with that with our hands, it's got a bit warm, and if you were to put that straight on the barbecue or straight in a pan or under the grill, it may break up. So what I'm going to do is just get my burger, I'm going to dust it in flour, just dip it both sides. Now this does 2 things. Stops it sticking to whatever you're going to put them in the fridge on, in my case this. But it also means that when it goes onto the barbecue, as I'm doing them today, you get a nice sort of crispy outside that keeps all the juices in. Bit trying to get away, another under. So I'm going to do 8 of these. I'm going to do them in my ring. Like I say, you don't have to. You could just shape them into whatever shape. I like to make burgers quite thin so they cook throughout quite quickly. You can make them a little bit thicker, but bear in mind you probably have to cook them on a lower heat so they don't so they don't, so they cook through and they don't burn on the outside. So I'll do these 8, pop them in the fridge. A couple of hours later, we'll get them on the barbecue. I'll see you then. Right, welcome back. The sun's gone in, but we barbecued anyway. I'm going to use the gas one today. I know it's not real barbecuing, but there's only a few of us. So I've had it warming up. Burgers have been in the fridge. I'm just going to bob them on. They're quite solid. The mistake everyone makes when they're cooking burgers, not everyone, but a lot of people do, is they try and move them too quickly. Now, if you try and move them too quickly, they will break up. So, once they're on, leave them for a good 4 or 5 minutes until you start smelling the smell of the burger. You can check, you can slip a spatula underneath and just check that the underneath cooks. Then we're going to flip them over. Whilst I'm doing that, I've got some onions on the go. Cook family don't really like onions, but I do. So I'm just going to fry some onions off. I'm going to make them nice and sticky. Just some red onions, salt and olive oil. And when they've cooked a little bit more, I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar and cook them really slowly, and they'll become nice and sticky, and I can have them with my burger. So come back in 5 minutes and we'll flip the burgers, we'll add the balsamic to the onions and we'll take it from there. Okay, we've had 5 minutes, so we're just going to flip them. I hope they don't stick. So come on in here, Soph. So you should be able to get spatula underneath them. And you can see that little bit of flour has just helped to seal the tops in. Oops. So we'll get those flipped. Give it another 4 or 5 minutes on that side. Last one. Yeah. All off. In the meantime, we'll add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. This is glazed, but it'll be fine, just to sweeten up those. You could put some sugar in at this point, but because I'm using red onions, I'm not going to do that. That will just make that lovely and sticky. In the oven, I've got some new potatoes, just in an oven dish with some olive oil, salt and pepper, bacon lardons, rosemary and thyme and a bit of garlic. They're roasted away in the oven. So while these finish, I'll just go knock up a salad and we'll see when it's done. Right, the last thing I've done is I've just toasted off the bread buns, because I think burgers are lovely in a toasted bread bun. And then we're done. Come over here, Soph, let's show you what we've got. Got our lovely homemade burgers. Roast new potatoes with garlic, rosemary, thyme and bacon. Toasted buns, bit of salad, bit of cheese, those lovely, lovely sticky onions, and a bit of coleslaw. What's not to like? Homemade burgers, simple as. Join us on Monday, where we're making something for Sophie, and she wants homemade ice cream. And you don't need an ice cream maker. See you then. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay indoors, and keep cooking. Bye-bye.